Good evening and welcome to Budget Model Railways. Back indoors again today. It's 3 degrees out there, unlike a bit like the last time I've filmed, but no sunshine. I did do 4 hours on the motorbike today, very cold. So I'm back to this layout, done quite a bit of progress on it. So this is the layout that's designed to fit in a hard case so that I can carry it on my motorbike. There's 2 modules, each is 50 centimetres by 15 centimetres, or about 1 3/4 feet by 6 inches, and together it then obviously gives me a metre by 15. It has to be that size to fit the box. I always think it's quite funny. I do these videos to fit specific sizes and then get very helpful people saying, why don't you add this, why don't you add that, because that's the size I've got. So within the size, I'm quite pleased with the track plan for this. So this will be the station area. So I've added a little bay there that's just long enough to take the tram. And then there'll be another passenger platform here. And this can be used then as another goods. Or you could use both of these as goods. So I could use goods or passenger trains there, trams there. Some of you remember a long time ago, many years ago, I built a 00 station building with an overall roof. So the idea is to replicate that in there. Now I've had a go at the water, really simple, 4 different acrylic and poster paints. Excuse the background noise, my neighbour is going deaf and plays their television so loud that I can turn the volume off in this room if I want to listen to it. So excuse the music in the background. So the water is a mixture of brown, blue, metallic green and lime green, because water's not actually blue. Now what I then put on top of that is brown polyurethane varnish, and that's turned it green, which is wonderful. So I've got the right colour. It's not quite shiny enough, but I've got a couple of really nice boats to add to it. I might try and get those in a minute and just show them to you. There you go. So I thought I would. So this is in the process of being painted. This was a resin cargo boat I bought some years ago. It was warped, but plunging it in boiling water and then cold water has taken the warp out. And that'll fit in there quite nicely. And then at this end, I've just recently bought this little steam pinnace, just to hint at the passenger traffic in there. I have been working on buildings. Some of you, if you follow me on Instagram, if you don't, it's worth following me on Instagram. It's where I do little updates. So this is an entirely scratch-built, low-relief warehouse there. Windows, thank you, Mark in the US, from him. Tiny Trains Group, which we don't seem to get here. And the roof is made by using scored strips of cardboard. It's a little heavy, but I've found some lighter weight card for the next one. But I'm very pleased with those. I've not tried scratch building Engage buildings. So this is going to have more buildings along here and some kind of archway there. And obviously I'm going to scratch build the station. I've lost the focus a bit there if I sit still. And then the idea is to base it all around this Loco, which is the Cato steeple cab done as a UK electronic. And as I've discussed, and as a number of you have very kindly given me more information, quite a few tramways in the UK. Some based on the tram systems in cities, and of course 1 or 2 based on docks. So it's not a big jump to have a UK steeple cab electronic Loco, especially with the tram. So the idea is the end of a tram line. This is the cargo side. It's survived just internationalisation. Probably not going to last much longer. The track at the moment, what I did was I ummed and ahed about ballast mat and stuff, but this is going to have, it's not going to be covered, but the concrete's going to come up to the edge of the sleepers, and I really don't think that anybody's going to notice too much that it's just painted grey underneath. I've stopped the track here because I'm going to put a vertical controller in there, so we've got an integral controller, and that's my 2-road fiddle yard, and that means I'll be able to run quite a good operational potential, because the tram, I can have 2 trams, I can have a tram and a goods train, kind of 2 goods trains. And as I say, I can do a tuning fork shunting here with 9 wagons, or I can do tuning fork shunting down that end if I want. And obviously I can run passenger trains in and out. So should make quite a nice little exhibition layout. when it's all done. That's the idea. And then the novelty will be that it will have travelled by motorbike. But it'll also make a really nice layout just for at home as well. The power for the people that ask these things is just two wires there. The points will transfer all the rest of the power. I am going to just use ordinary fish plates here. I'm not going to get involved in anything too fancy, separate wires and all that sort of things, because it won't work, frankly, because I've got to have power here to feed these other sidings. And we'll see how we get on with that. It's worked very well on the others. I will put a lot more varnish on once the ships are down, and people will just have to accept that the tide is in. I've got 8 centimetres here of height. In fact, because of the way the box works, because one module lives in front of the other one, the box is 30 centimetres by 50 centimetres internally. As you can see, I'm not actually pushed for space. Length and width wise, I've got 3-yard station, 2-yard good road, a freight road and a 2-road fiddle yard. Where I'm pushed is height. And in fact, this building, I had to do the roof a second time because it crept too high, because this has got to have obviously I'm struggling for my words tonight, but it's going to have like a loading dock underneath it, a raised area. And so that's going to be quite low. But there's not much I can do. 8 centimetres is very small. I've lost a centimetre on baseboard. It doesn't give you a lot of options in point of fact. Fortunately, it does just take a controller. So, lots happening. It's not going to be a quick project because there's 6 or 7 buildings to scratch build. They're all going to be scratch built. And then obviously I've got to lay concrete and cobbles and things around the track, paint boats, do water. But it'll keep me going for a while. So there we go. And then hopefully Tuesday I'm going to get on with the Japanese Kato shunting layout for the exhibition in May, Something Show, May the 10th. I've got all the buildings I need now. I managed to pick up some second-hand ones. So I'll do a video later in the week on that. There's been a lot of work on that. I think people will enjoy that. So there we go. Quick update, and speak to you again soon.